If trans,
Gender is a thing. They should be allowed in the Olympics for women's sports.
and the reason for that is because it would break records. The this and it would let women know that men are. I don't
The
want
dominant species.
superior.
I said it. The dominant species, the superior species. If they let transgender women into an Olympic sport, it's going to prove that we are the dominant species as far as male and female.
Usually I count down and I say move, but it doesn't apply to you because there's nobody behind you. So anyway, trans women should be allowed. Trans women should be allowed in the Olympics. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, move. Okay, cool. You're on strongly agree, and obviously, unfortunately, we don't have anybody else playing, but tell us why you think you strongly agree.
Well, ever since they dictated that gender doesn't exist in the United States due to Obama, there has been recent things showing that some people men believe that they're women. If they're a transgender woman, they should be allowed in the Women's Olympics. And so that means that that's going to set a new precedence on scores, times, and everything if they're allowing transgender. So I believe if a person feels that they feel they're one sex, they should be allowed to play in that sport, especially if they go through the processi of becoming a woman. I think they should deserve to play in that sport. That's
And so I just want to make sure I'm clear. So what? I'll take my gloves off. So what if they don't go through the process? Should they still be allowed or no?
I mean, if they're declared as a woman and that's how they feel.
That's how they feel. Well, at least they say, someone says, I feel this way, but they haven't gone through any surgery or hormones.
If that's what they feel, then they need to let that woman run in that event.
Okay, you said something that's interesting. You said like more records will be broken or something. What do you mean by that?
I think that if there was to be transgender women, we would see sub 10.5s. We would see just like world records that men couldn't get, but these transgender women would get, right? Because now they're a woman. So I think that the new records would be set if they had transgender women in Olympic women's sports.
So the people who are trans, I don't mean to be vulgar or anything, but born with penises, they self-identify as a woman, they go to the women's sports, and they would break records that women haven't broken.
Yeah.
And
Just imagine if what's his name with the Kardashians? What was his name? He changed himself?
I don't know anything about the Kardashians.
Oh yeah, me either. But I know that the husband changed into a transgender woman, okay? And if he wanted to be in the Olympics, that's the perfect example that he was an Olympian.
So he would break the women's records, and that's good.
Not him, but if...
Oh, well, not him, right. But right.
If they allowed transgender, yes, I think that'd be good for the sport, yes.
It'd be more exciting to watch trans people, like, push new boundaries, yep, break new records, yep, new times, for example, yep, maybe in swimming or running or, I don't know, if, wrestling, maybe something like that.
So yeah, like the sprints, the boxing, the
boxing,
the soccer, anything that's one-on-one, I think that transgender would come in there and take over, right? Olympic lifts, the Olympic powerlifting.
And that would be a good thing.
Yeah, I think so. I think it lets women know that us men are the strongest ones in the world, just letting you know that right now.
Okay, so, and again, I whenever I do this, and again, we only have you one, but I always make sure that I try to understand what people are saying, and if I've got you wrong in any way, please tell me, because I'm trying very hard.
No.
So, if
gender is a thing, they should be allowed in the Olympics for women's sports.
And the reason for that is because it would break records, and it would let women know that men are, I don't want
the dominant species.
Superior.
I said it, the dominant species, the superior species. If they let transgender women into an Olympic sport, it's going to prove that we are the dominant species as far as male and female.
Okay, so how does awards going to trans women help the sport?
How it could help the sport?
Yeah,
it helps the sport by opening up the dialogue and the discussion that transgenderism exists. And it's here. and it's not going nowhere. So it's definitely put a focal point on the transgender that, you know, some of these people feel that that's what they are and that's what they should be. And that's going to be so. Imagine the little kids that feel that way too. That's going to allow them to open up and want to be in the Olympics.
Right, and it would certainly and it would certainly teach the women a lesson about the men's physical superiority.
Like I said, I think that women would be outraged, but then at the same token, it's showing that, look, us men, we are the dominant species in this.
And they should just have to accept that, I guess.
If they're accepting transgenderism, they're going to have to.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. So by that reasoning, shouldn't we ban trans men from participating in men's sports?
Yes. Yes.
So
wait, whoa.
Trans men born with a vagina.
But become a man? No, they should not be banned. No, they should.
Oh, they should not be banned.
No. They should be allowed to be in the male sport, like UFC, for example. If it was a
yeah. That's what I was thinking. Actually.
Yeah, if he wanted to fight UFC, that man should be allowed to play in there. And if he gets his ass whooped, he's gonna know why.
Because he was born a woman.
That's how I feel. Yes. I don't think there's not many women in this world that can beat me. Personally, okay, so I think if a woman was to go in a UFC fighting ring and she claims she's a man, she's gonna get beat like a man.
And do you think that's unfair to the women, or does it not matter?
It's not fair. I mean, it doesn't matter. Like if that man chose to be in that sport and fight as a man and she's a woman, by all means, go do it.
And again, the term, I close my eyes because the terminology is tricky for
yes, sir.
You know, switching to trans and stuff. So a trans woman, in other words, a person born a man who transitions to being a woman who participates in a sport, it's irrelevant if it's fair or not, because it's not about fairness. It's about something else.
It would be both sides. So if it's whether it's transgender male or transgender female, they should be allowed to play in the sport that they claim that they are, right?
And fairness should not play a role.
It's fair if they believe they're that species to play in that category of that sport, right?
Yeah. Oh, I see. So the fair thing is to honor
the category that they're trying to be.
Yeah.
Yes.
The fair. So they're like types of fairness, and that's the highest type of fairness.
Yeah, I think that there should not be no transgender division. There should be, if I'm a female, but I'm a male, if I'm a female and I'm a male now, and I want to go play in a male sport, they should allow that. Same thing for the transgender women. Same thing, I believe.